My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 14th, 2024. It is 2:39 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1 is on our Part of View service, where I share the conversation Harry had during the Invictus 10-year anniversary in the UK. So there was a discussion that went on, and I came across the video and I did a review on it. So go on our Part of View service to view that video. And now what I want to do here, there were some tweets that I came across, some videos, and some other tweets, and I want to review them and share them with you before I continue. Alright, so this is the back end of this channel. Up your team Sussex, 4,149 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. And I hope many of you subscribe to our Part of View service. It over the weekend, it got into the monetization program, and then before the weekend was over, they took it out. I don't know, I find it funny because I was uploading a lot of videos. Remember, all 3 of my channels are focusing on people who's not on Twitter and the busy squaddies, okay, who still want to know what's going on with the Sussexes but don't have the time, but they could just hop onto my channel and see what's going on. So over the weekend, while Harry and Meghan were in Nigeria, there were a lot of things that were going on, and I appreciate the squaddies who share their videos, and many of them don't mind people share them, but you know, YouTube already has issues with Harry and Meghan or whatever, so they demonetize it. But thank God, before I started putting the videos out, remember, this is about their work. That's why I put it on our Part of View service. It was not monetized at all because I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. But I wasn't really about the money at the beginning. So when it got into the monetization program, I was like, oh, okay, so at least I could get some money out of it. But they took it out. I'm like, whatever. So they're giving me time. I could appeal it, or I could wait for a certain amount of time, fix it or whatever. So I will remove those videos. I'll let you guys keep on watching it until I'm ready to appeal it, not appeal, to resubmit it again, and then let them review it, and then I'll fix those videos. But other than that, I really don't care, because at the beginning, that wasn't my goal. It wasn't my goal to earn money from those videos from the beginning anyway. But it was nice to see it, but whatever. But if you guys appreciate whatever content that I'm sharing with you, I always have PayPal and Cash App, and I have a shop. You guys could check it out and find a way you could support me. All right, so I'm not relying on YouTube fully. This may not be the smartest thing to say or do, but I'm still trying to go under their guidelines. And the funny thing too as well with that channel, all the videos that I put, I always wait for YouTube to give me the green light, saying, oh, the video is okay, it followed their guideline, it did this, it did that, and they give me the thumbs up, the green light to post it. I always wait until that. All of the videos that I put gave me the green light, but later on they decided to remove it, but whatever. Okay, so this is the back end for this channel. Look at this. Since the beginning of this month, I was in the 200. It never shift. So if I was really desperate for money, which I need, this is not to say I don't need money, but to share content with you, then I would have stopped already. Anyway, too much talking. Let's go on Twitter. So this is the first tweet that I want to share with you. I'm sorry, there will be screenshot because I don't want YouTube to come and shut the channel down. All right. The new requirement for Meghan Markle per the toxic British press interested. Gravel at the king's feet. Are you freaking kidding me? Meghan is done. Let's see what he said here.
I want reconciliation. I want them brought back into the family, but they've got to do something to show that they love the king and he loves his brother. I want reconciliation.
Okay, so that's my comment here. But have the UK ever said what Harry and Meghan did? What did they do? I'm sure if Meghan ever confront this issue, they're gonna be sorry for even trying to get her to say anything. Because Harry and Meghan were doing good thing for the public. You got the cookbook, you got Smart Works. What else did she do? I don't know. There's probably plenty of other things we probably would never know because they were doing it in the background. So what did they do? They weren't supposed to do this? Meghan wasn't supposed to help the charities sustain themselves? Is that what these idiots are trying to say? So why do Harry and Meghan needs to go back to them and say sorry to them when they didn't do anything wrong? Because this is the perception that they made us believe that why the royal family is getting taxpayers' money. And by the way, Meghan was not being paid while she was in the royal family in the UK. Okay? So everything that she was doing with her own money, with her own brain cells, and help the charities. So what the hell is this guy talking about? Let's see here. This is my comment. Oh, come on. At first, they all need to tell Harry and Meghan what they did wrong. I'm sure Harry and Meghan will not hesitate if they were aware that they did something wrong. No one ever uttered a word of the hell Harry and Meghan did wrong. King Charles and the rest are full of themselves. Thank God Harry and Meghan have moved on. They don't need this mess. And now, this is exactly why Harry wanted the court to review his security aspect of things. We came to find out, which confirmed with Spear, that the brother pushed him out.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death, like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Confirmed with Spear that the brother pushed him out. So they keep on forgetting about this. Now, this guy is saying he wants them to come back. How did he say it again? He wants Harry and Meghan to come back? He wants them to come back and then they have to do something. What the hell? So Harry and Meghan supposed to drop everything that they're doing, go over there and then go bow at their feet, the people who cause them pain? This is a very sickness that is going over there. They pushed them out. Harry and Meghan literally said they would have stayed if things were different.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
As much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
So what do you say to the people who say...
But they literally pushed them out. The court saw it and agreed with William and Charles for Harry to leave. And this is why they don't want to give them security. So Harry and Meghan have their own lives now. They're doing their own thing. So why are you calling them back? You need to speak to Charles and William. Not Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan are done. And you guys keep on poking at them. you did say you were not gonna, I don't know if it's him, but other people, commentary presenters in the UK said they were not gonna talk about them because they're irrelevant. But consistently since what, 4 years now since they left, it's every day, non-stop BS. These people need to move on, focus on the country, help the people, because just like any other countries, there are issues going on. They need to focus on that. Stop spending, I guess, 99.9% of their time on Harry and Meghan. My goodness. And Harry and Meghan cannot drop everything that they're doing to come in and serve these people who did not appreciate them. Because now they have contract. They have deals. They made promises to other people. They can't just drop it like that. Then they're going to get sued. So these people full baloney. All right? You can't move. Okay? You can't love evil. Evil has to die in order for good. Very interesting. Evil has to die in order for good to bloom and prosper. Very well said. I agree with that. Hell no, they owe Meghan an apology. You see? 30 people said it. There's one comment. Let's see here. Probably a deranger. Several. Okay. Yeah, several apology. I mean, even before marrying into the royal family, they went behind her back to try to sabotage anything that she was doing. Her family. And I blame her family as well on that aspect, because it takes two. Because they could have easily said, no, they're not going to do that, but they participate anyway. So it's both of them. The mind were too weak, okay, to understand the severity of the things that they were doing. And the father coming and talk nonsense.
That may have been one of the things that upset her. And of course, the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who was with American media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding.
This is what happened when your focus is only money. Yes, in our society, we need money to get what we want, what we need, you know, for the economy to move and all of that. But it's not the only thing. So when your main focus is on that, humanity is gone. Sensibility is gone. Those type of emotion are gone because people are focusing on money. They don't see and understand other people's perspective, because once they focus on money, they want to get the money. They don't care how they get it. Then all of this is out of the window. But they never tell Harry and Meghan what they did wrong. The others went behind their back to sabotage her. But they couldn't find anything. Okay? What crap. The only thing that will make Charles and Will happy is for Harry to leave his wife and children, assume the position of being the family's scapegoat, and erase any positive acknowledgement of Diana. I doubt if any of that will happen. Alright, that is totally crap. That attitude is equivalent to telling the survivor of toxic domestic violence to show the abuser they love them. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Give me a break. As a survivor of toxic family, I know that suggestion is harmful. The firm needs therapy. Yeah. And this is what sometimes I said, I don't see how those kids over there are gonna learn anything different. It will take a miracle for William kids and the other children to, to have the brain cell to process what is happening here. Okay, all this useless yapping from these haters will continue to ignore and go about life. Okay, Meghan is not going to grovel at anybody's feet, especially not a racist deadbeat like Charles. And guess what? If, let's say for instance, this is a completely wacko suggestion here. Meghan decided to go and apologize to them. You think they will accept her apology? They will treat her. This is the savagery of these people. They will go further and take that apology and then beat her with it. Okay? So, Meghan, just continue doing what you're doing and mind your own business and focus on what matters. Okay? No way. The king and his brother have to apologize to Harry and Meghan. Princess Meghan is not going back there. They don't need that family. Okay? They want them back so bad, but they want them to humiliate themselves first. That's exactly that. That is not going to happen. Okay, what is that here? They don't have to do jack. Charles should show he loves his son. The son he has disappointed wasn't a girl at his birth. That's right. The son he threw to the media wolves and vultures to build Camilla's reputation. The son he abandoned in Canada when his security was removed by British government. Yeah, that's something in their brain. I guess once evil cemented itself onto these people, there's no coming back, because this idiot, ever since, I don't even know, something completely is removed from the brain cells of these people. Again, this is why I keep saying I do not know how Harry become the man that he is, because with this toxicity, I don't see how any kids will survive or be anything different from these people. Let's see here. King Charles justified the government preventing his son from having security by arguing that a successful attack on Prince Harry would not significantly disturb the British public. Wow. That's from a father. That is from a father. Will not significantly disturb the British public. Meanwhile, you have Harry doing all of this for the veterans and all of that. If Harry's not there, how does the Invictus move forward? All these other people, the ripple effect that Harry's doing to help other people. This is very sad. This is very sad. Sir James said it was simply incorrect to suggest that there was no evidence that the issue of impact was considered, adding that the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, Harry's mother, was raised as part of the decision. He added, Warwick gave greater weight to the impact on state function being lessened as a result of the change. Over likely significant public upset were a successful attack on Harry to take place. My God, Mr. Justice Lane will give his judgment over the case at a later date. They didn't give Harry. Harry lost that case. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad. This is the mindset. The public, what is it? Prince Harry will not significantly disturb the British public. Wow. Whew, that hit really deep. Imagine when her kids starting to read, this is what Harry went through. My goodness. And now they will understand why Harry had to do what he did. Remove them from this toxicity. Wow. Very sad. Can you imagine, this is another BS I'm going to review. Can you imagine if those kids were over there, how much abuse they will get with the tabloid, where there's no restriction at all? If they could say that about Harry, what do you think they will say about his kids? Oh my God. All right, this is why the Commonwealth needs to remove England and form their own bloc. All right, so he retweeted that, or she retweeted that. There's some comments here, and then I'll come back out. Let's go into it. Let's pause. Again, there will be a screenshot. Oh, that's pretty long. Time for change, why King Charles must take action. In light of recent remark made by the representative of King Charles, it's increasingly clear that urgent reform is needed. The Speaker's inability to conceal his racist views and clear disdain for Africa raises serious concern about the attitude harbored within the current leadership. If these comments truly reflect the sentiment of the King's Circle, then it's time for King Charles to step down as the head of the Commonwealth. This isn't just about resignation. It's about taking a stand for dignity, respect, and equality across all nations and cultures represented in the Commonwealth. King Charles needs to address this situation immediately, proving that these views are not endorsed by his administration. I mean, this guy is a chicken shit. To tell you the truth, this is the tabloid, the business people of the UK. I'm not making excuses for Charles at all, but they put Charles in a box to be so afraid that he will not dare. He will not dare. But like this guy said, Charles needs to speak to say that's not his views. But he's not going to do that. This is the direction the business people, the politician, you're seeing it in the U.S. I don't even follow the U.S. politics anymore because it's very disturbing. I'm just waiting for election for me to vote. Because the things that I'm seeing from the other side is completely lunatic. And it's the same thing that's going on in the UK. All right, these are the same lunatics who wants to take control of the world. Okay, they had a plan. The plan sort of, and how will I say that? Right now, there is a pause in the US of the pausing is getting close come November, because in 2020 that was the direction that they were going. The UK is full blast. Okay, you're seeing what you're seeing in the UK, what's happening here, but the US put a pause to it, and I've been saying that. So the rest of the world is waiting for the US. If, for instance, my goodness, knock on wood, may this never happen, that Trump get back into the office, we're done with. Okay, it will take centuries after centuries for the world to get back, if it will ever, because the mindset of evil is very disturbing. So we need to keep on pushing to fight for good and do what's right. But if you focus on race only, you're doomed. Okay, eventually it will turn on you, because these people, they don't see anything. Next thing, they're gonna start saying blonde hair is what's the it kind of thing, and if you don't have blonde hair, you out. Okay, the next thing could be your eye colors and all sort of things. So we need to, when we vote, we need to look at things in a perspective of humanity. All right, but they're waiting for the US. We are in a pause, and then after the 2024 election, depending on how we vote, we'll see how the rest of the world move. But we need to be very careful. Let's continue.
I think he enjoys these occasions. Is he enjoying his new job as king?
I fear not. I mean, he never liked going to Africa. He was forced to go to Africa.
What?
Wait. King, because he neglected...
I'm going to move it back, okay? The question is he enjoying his position? So how is that going to Africa? That's a completely 360 of the question. All right, so that's that.
I think he enjoys these occasions. Is he enjoying his new job as king?
I fear not. I mean, he never liked going to Africa. He was forced to go to Africa.
So what's that has to do with Africa? That's a completely different question he's responding to. But let's continue.
Well, shortly before he became king, because he neglected the Commonwealth. He liked going to the white Commonwealth countries. He liked going a lot to India.
Wait a second. Did he say India culture is white?
He liked going to the white Commonwealth countries. He liked going a lot to India.
That's just a way of using them to do the dirty work for them. That's all. India is a white country? Okay. I didn't know that.
But he avoided Africa if he could. But
Why?
Well, he just didn't find it culturally very interesting, whereas he was very interested in the culture of India. And the real truth is, Camilla doesn't like travelling long distances. I think he does find it very difficult now. He doesn't look as if he's enjoying the job, having waited so long for it. But in the end, you see, the Commonwealth will fall apart unless he works hard at it.
Oh, well, let's leave it as that. Nothing to say. Just
I think he enjoys these occasions.
what the caption says here. There's more. All right, let's see here. Don't hold your breath. King Charles doesn't have the spine. That's the thing that I was saying. He's not going to say a damn thing. Okay, don't hold your breath. King Charles doesn't have the spine to condemn the racist abuse against his grandchildren and his son's wife. Okay, this one is 1 minute and 3 seconds. This is old.
We go further. This is a privately leaked WhatsApp conversation with a former Tory friend. The remarks about Prince Harry's fiancée, claiming that black actresses' entry into the royal family would pave the way for a black king. During this shocking tirade, you claimed that you would never have sex, and I find this word hard to say.
This is actually, I'm not surprised by this at all. But by having black kings and all of that. There's one video that I did. What did I call it? I don't remember. No, that's not from that. Okay. Where they're talking about, I'll put the clip that I'm talking about.
When racism as such, as a philosophy, kicked in, was as a direct reaction to the abolitionist movement. The abolitionist movement driven by some of the leading intellectuals of the day, as well as driven by hundreds of thousands of ordinary people in this kingdom who signed petitions after petitions and presented them to the House of Lords. When the abolition movement really kicked in from the 1780s onwards, the planters had to respond. And so this is where you get the most virulent imagery about brutal, pagan, bestial black people in the literature and in the imagery.
Cartoons portraying black people as licentious and depraved began to circulate.
But the media is a powerful force.
The anti-abolitionist Edward Long wrote,
"The lower class women in England are remarkably fond of the blacks. In the course of a few generations more, the English blood will become so contaminated with this mixture as even to reach the middle and then the higher orders of the people. The English blood will become so contaminated with this mixture as even to reach the middle and then the higher orders of the people. This is a venomous and dangerous ulcer that threatens to disperse its malignancy far and wide until every family catches infection from it."
But the media is a...
But I'm not surprised by it at all. This is their fear to having a black blood into the institution. This have been raised a long time ago. So that I'm not surprised by that at all, because I even did a video on it and I mentioned something similar to that. Not me, but from a historian.
Say out loud, but I'm going to say it in the context of what it was. You would never have sex with a Negro. You described black people as ugly. You suggested that Meghan would taint the royal family because she is mixed race.
Again, that's not news. That's not news.
The English blood will become so contaminated with this mixture as even to reach the middle and then the higher orders of the people.
This have been said before.
You know, you just don't sound like a very nice person.
It doesn't sound very nice, no. There's a lot in there, what you said. Meghan Markle, I think my comments about her were disgusting. They were meant to shock, and they were private.
My God.
I never intended them to...
but you said
at
that.
that point you were in the public eye.
No, I wasn't.
No. At no point. So have you tempered what you said because you are in the public eye?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think,
You know, baggage for God, that's all I have to say. I hope the black Commonwealth countries hears this racist rhetoric that they don't matter to UK monarchy, nothing important to steal or exploit, and that Charles can care less if Commonwealth is dissolved. That statement is true statement of a colonizer. Okay, they already grabbed, there's so much more resources over there, but they took enough. Does he realize what he just said? Okay, African countries should ditch this stupidity once and for all unify together and create a United States of Africa. Okay, united, okay, coming together of State of Africa. Take your freedom and respect back. All right, so that's an ad. Tag a whole bunch of other people. They not apologize about this. They feel good about themselves for saying this. You know, at some point, they will regret it. Charles is a racist and he tacitly endure this kind of ugliness from his people. He's been silent for years as Meghan and her kids were racially abused. He needs to stay silent, and African and Caribbean countries should remove themselves from this Commonwealth organization. It's evident how the royal family think about black countries and the Commonwealth, and Charles thinks the same with treatment of Meghan. Charles is not powerless. Look at how he protects Camilla. He proves all the bills before they become law. Okay. The Queen was doing a lot of this. For his coronation, he had the African leaders come on the commercial flight. Really? And on coach, he allowed the Western leaders to make their own way on their private jet. And they also had their own cars. The man is a racist, and Prince Harry was being too polite. This has obviously been out for a while, but I've never seen it before. Is it just me, or did this not get much attention at the time? If Charles only likes the white Commonwealth countries and has no interest in Africa, then he has no business being the head of it. I don't know. It's up to the African countries to remove themselves and then take control of their own economy. They don't really need them. They have what they need to do for themselves. Okay, next tweet. I'm not gonna listen to that again. What the F? Not them saying the quiet part out loud. Did Tom Bauer just say with confidence that Charles preferred going to white Commonwealth countries and avoid Africa as much as he could? Okay, I just hear it. So it wasn't the color of Prince Archie or Princess Elizabeth's skin that concerned King Charles III. It is they will be culturally boring. There's the hair. So his mouthpiece are preparing us now for why. Prince Harry and Princess Meghan popularity in Africa is a bad thing. Such jealousy from old men. Okay, this vermin mouthpiece for Charles, mostly Camilla, is not only dismantling Charles' hold on the Commonwealth, but also dismantling the monarchy. African culture wasn't offensive when Camilla's son visited Nigeria a month ago, but is offensive now that Harry and Meghan are embraced in Nigeria. Well, I've read some tweets that his son was there while Harry and Meghan were in Nigeria. Because I remember responding to a tweet about it. Commonwealth doesn't need Charles. He got the job because his mama asked Commonwealth Nation in 2018, begging them to vote her son in as the next head of the Commonwealth when she dies. Most countries voted for Charles out of respect for Queen Elizabeth II. Time for Commonwealth to vote out racist Charles. And like one of the comments said, this is the mouthpiece for Camilla, but at the same time, Charles should understand his position. He's the king. But hey, what do I know? But the thing is that what was I gonna say? Charles should I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. All right, so let me read these and then move on. This is an ad. Okay, Wish Express, as leaders of member states meet in London for biennial 2-day summit. When was that? There's no day. April 19, 2018. The Queen has expressed her desire for Prince Charles to succeed her as the leader of the Commonwealth, voicing her views the day before top government officials from the T3 nation body meet at Windsor Castle to discuss the issue. Her unusual, candid declaration was made at what will almost certainly be her last attendance at the Commonwealth Head of Government meeting, as she welcomed president, prime ministers, and foreign ministers to the 2-day biennial. That's the visit the squad have. But this is why I said Harry and Meghan union was what the UK needed to open the eyes of these people who were in La La Land. But then, I don't know. These things are being run by those... there's something within, okay? The mold within the institution. Now they know how the monarchy works. So they have their people in so they could manipulate of that. I've been saying this a very long time. They're really against the system. They want to destroy the system. The monarchy system. They want to demolish, abolish all of this. Okay? So by doing this, this is a way to really push it. Okay, going to the extreme to get rid of it. So they already scared the shit out of Charles and William, so they're not gonna say anything. So until people start taking steps to remove itself, and then what they're gonna do now, those business people gonna take over. Okay, they're gonna take over. I mean, they already did, but where they will maneuver the system where they could have control. I'm not surprised by that. Let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but I'm moving on. All right, so this is another video that was flying around. GMB, is it time for the Sussexes to return to the royal fold? What the hell? Why will they go back? Okay, me, that's Dr. Shola, hell to the no. All the vultures of which you are one, Richard, who denigrate, abuse, there's more. Richard, I object to vulture. Is that the guy who spoke with the YouTubers about the Oprah interview that he didn't even see?
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
You do, definitely.
4 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's listen.
Dr. Shola, most of our viewers voting in this poll say no, they shouldn't come back. But I'm wondering whether they're saying no, they shouldn't come back because they might not want to. They've had a wildly successful tour of their own. Do you think the royal family should welcome them back, and would they come?
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
Okay, first of all, I say hell to the no that they should come back under the fold of the royal family that has done nothing but help to, stoke the dog whistle racism, the undisguised sexism, and the misogynoir that has been pitted against Meghan Markle. The point here is They've always been part of the royal family. So to me, it is a moot point to ask whether or not they should come back into the fold. They're not on royals simply because they're no longer senior working royals. But let's look at what they have achieved and what they've been achieving. Think about the fact that the group of vultures that, came around them, all these useless people, and the vultures, I do believe you're one of them.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
Oh my God, right to his face. And she's right. She's right. But let's continue. Oh my goodness.
You will defend yourself, but let me finish. These vultures did nothing but to denigrate her, abuse her, reduce her to chattel, all in the name of defending the royal family from what? Everything that people can see about Harry and Meghan today is what they already had.
Thank you.
The power to resonate with people, the power to invoke emotions that people can actually see themselves in them and transcend the boundaries that divide us. Even the Queen did not achieve this. So as far as I'm concerned,
so you don't think
excellent.
they would come back or should come back, but you do think the royal family would benefit from them being back?
I think most definitely, but the reality here, and there's a biblical saying that sums this up, the stone the builder rejected became the cornerstone. The cornerstone cannot revert back to the stone. That's an abomination. So everything needs to feed into the cornerstone. As far as I'm concerned, Harry and Meghan are looking like the cornerstone right now. So if the royal family should be looking to say, can we come under your banner?
Oh, wow, Richard.
That's right.
Firstly, you're a vulture.
I think that Dr. Shola was slightly unkind in the sobriquet that he gave me. I'm glad that you withdraw it. The facts, however, are this is a serious issue, especially at a time when King Charles and also the Princess of Wales are both seriously ill.
Oh, God.
The King is...
This is the excuse that they put about there's Charles going everywhere. He's not freaking sick. Where is the other one? Kate, you don't even see her. And then I'm seeing headlines that there's divorce. From, what is it? Is it US something? But anyway, that's not the point here. Let's continue.
It's much better. Now, what we are looking at with the issue of whether Harry and Meghan, in a hypothetical sense, of course, assuming they wanted to, would come back.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
Is something that is fundamental. That is the issue of trust. The royal family don't trust them. And the reason they don't trust them, well, they wanted a half in, half out. They said this. They demonetized their royal family and their connections there for gain, and then they trash it. And this is the problem. This is perhaps the reason that, to everyone's surprise, by the way, that King Charles and Harry didn't meet last week. He went on with the...
How is Harry and Meghan supposed to... Forget Meghan into this discussion because Meghan was doing her own thing. How are they supposed to support themselves if the royal family claimed that... and this is why they didn't take their titles back when Harry offered it. Because they want that connection with Harry as if everything that Harry and Meghan are doing is because of the royal family. Meanwhile, look at the state the royal family is in. They can't even... I don't even know what state they are in, but it's not in a positive way.
They met first after King's cancer diagnosis. He went on Good Morning America. The problem is if you're looking at Oprah, you're looking at...
Let's make this clear, okay? After Harry had gone to the UK, when Charles came back and said he had cancer, remember, there were, what was it? The Super Bowl. He had to give an award to, I forgot the name of the award. It's on our part of your service. And then it was maybe a couple days later when he was in Canada and he was promoting the 1 year leading to the Invictus Whistler. What's the Invictus in Canada? I think it's Whistler, is it? Okay, the one that's gonna come up in Canada. Okay, they did an interview highlighting the Invictus. And then Reeves' son, okay, the Superman, his son, interviewed Harry and asked about Prince Charles. Harry said he's not going to talk about it. But whatever he had said wasn't a positive thing. So I don't know what this guy is talking about, that the minute he came from the UK, to meet Charles, he went to Good Morning America. So that's completely different.
I spoke to him.
And what did you do next?
I jumped on a plane and went to go and see him as soon as I could.
How was that visit for you emotionally?
Look, I love my family. The fact that I was able to get on a plane and go and see him and spend any time with him, I'm grateful for that.
What's sort of your outlook on his health?
That stays between me and him.
An illness in the
Okay, it was while promoting Invictus. The question popped up, but Harry said he's not gonna discuss that. Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about. And the Oprah interview, we should know why it was done, because when they were in the UK, the trashing that was going on, so they had to respond to that. Okay, so I'm moving it back.
Is the issue of trust. The royal family don't trust them.
That she started a campaign in the British press to pave the way for a marriage, and you wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy.
Mm-hmm.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous.
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street.
And the reason they don't trust them, well, they wanted a half in, half out. They said this, they demonetized their royal family and their connections there for gain, and then they trash it. And this is the problem. And this is perhaps the reason that, to everyone's...
After our private summits with her, she began to play the long game, a campaign aimed at marriage and eventually the crown, with Paul's blessing, we presumed. Stories began to appear everywhere, in all the papers, about her private conversation with Willy, stories that contained pinpoint accurate details, none of which had come from Willy, of course. They could only have been leaked by the one other person present.
Surprised, by the way, that King Charles and Harry didn't meet last week. He went on when they met first. After King's cancer diagnosis, he went on Good Morning America. The problem is, if you're looking at Oprah, you're looking at the Harry and Meghan documentary, which trashed the Commonwealth.
Do you think... No, it wasn't
you're
trash.
looking at Spare and the interviews around it.
You guys could go and watch for yourself and read for yourself. You don't need to hear him, generalize all of this for you. And then as you read and watch these things, you need to understand the state that they were in when they were in the UK and the state that they are in now. I don't even know why they're even talking about them, because Harry and Meghan are doing their own thing. Harry and Meghan's name should not even be in their mouth.
And that attacked Queen Camilla and...
Queen Camilla?
I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into.
No, but
when are you all going to grow up? Come
Thank
on.
you.
It's not a question of growing.
You all keep bringing out the same narrative. It is biased. Oh, they betrayed the royal family. They did not betray Jack Hall. They did not betray Jack Hall, because at the end of the day, all of this palace sources were the royal family dishing out dirt on Harry and Meghan. All Harry and Meghan did was to defend themselves, and quite frankly,
thank you.
So they launched vicious
Richard, listen to me.
When Prince
in
Philip was in hospital,
in 2024,
he died the next month. It was a disgrace.
There we go.
Of course they're not trusted. Would you?
Okay, on that we must leave it. I'm afraid. Good morning, Britain. Back tomorrow. Let's just see the final poll result.
Okay, whatever. Did they show the result? What was that?
Should they come back?
No.
80% say no.
Good. Alright. So the UK did enough already. Okay, you were too kind with your words. That's Omid Scobie. The royal family were indeed trashing Harry and Meghan first for years through briefing their royal reporters who wrote articles and biographies about how evil Meghan was to them. Harry and Meghan did respond in defense, but that was years after. Royal reporters like to ignore. Okay, so you bring me see. Harry and Meghan response defense, that was years after. Royal reporters like to ignore what happened to make them leave. Yep, Harry and Meghan can't trust them, and no loyalty to the devil is ever righteous. That institution and family were and are still devilish to them. They're not doing so good, are they? Is that why Harry wants back? What did Harry want back? Even Archwell has banned Markle. What? Where are they getting this nonsense? I don't even need to read.
In compliance, it was a technical paperwork issue that was wildly over hyped. And with respect, I hope people that ran those headlines run this headline, that it was a very typical technical issue around paperwork that persists for so many others as well, and they're in full compliance, and they're a celebrated organization that does great work in the state of California. So I wanted to clarify that because that's important, and I just thought there was a little bit of a piling on that was deeply unfair.
Rangers have been saying that Harry and Meghan are over since 2020. It's been 4 years now. I expect you will be saying the same thing in 10 years' time. It's comforting to believe something that isn't true. Take care. All right? So let's take the time to... I'm telling you, they're all into everything black. Let's go back. There were some other things. This one. Okay, the UK... Let's pause. The UK media are very delusional. They need to move on. Their scapegoat isn't coming back. Let's play this.
When you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
He's done. They all have been moved on. Toxic British media and these pseudo-royal experts are vultures. These people really think there's a chance they'll come back. Hell to the no. All right, you're right. Is he not one of the ones who took payment to make outrage commentary on the Oprah interview he hadn't even seen yet? Vulture is too kind for him. She should have brought it up. Okay? Will a free bird want to go back to its former cage after tasting freedom? Hell to the no. Harry and Meghan are too big and global for that bland and archaic institution. You were spot on, Shola. The racist royal family were leaking stories about Harry from childhood and more when Meghan came on the scene, and they want us to believe it's just starting with Oprah. Are people really that ignorant? This is why I said people need to know what happened before. Okay, just you could go back as far as Princess Diana died. What happened to Harry? Okay, the things that they were putting out, and or you could just pick it up when Meghan was dating Harry. You could either stages. You'll see how toxic these people are. Right on, speak the truth. Paint the walls red. White walls are looking old lately. Vulture is way too kind. They add value to ecosystem. All right, let's go to the next one. These are some videos that were flying around and I wanted to see them. All right, this is the same thing again. Now I want to see, people who retweeted that. The nerve of Richard to say the royal family can't trust Harry and Meghan when they were the ones running to the media every chance they got. At least Harry and Meghan said what they needed to say to their hypocritical faces and not behind their backs. I know who I trust, and it's not the royal family. All right, I'm so glad to hear that there is no trust by the royal family clan and Harry and Meghan, because the royal family clan only trusts when they control every thought, every word, every action. Never again will the clan be in control of Harry and Meghan. Case closed. We are adjourned, ladies and gentlemen. Amen. That's an ad. 80% of 3 people no. No doubt. They can trust them because now Harry and Meghan can speak up and set the record straight. That's it. These are some of the things that happen in Nigeria. Okay. I will take the time, another time, to review what happened in Nigeria. One of the things that I did, I create a thread for myself. And then I share it. And then when I get the chance, I'll go back to my own thread that I put all the videos and things that I came across. Okay, like, oops. Like something like this. All right, but that's not the focus right now. Okay, I have 4 more. All right, so there's another one here. There is a Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy. Journalist and editor Tina Brown says, quote, "We need Harry and Meghan," end quote, but that she worries the rift between them and the rest of the royal family could be permanent. I mean, I don't know why they're still talking about them, because Harry and Meghan already said that thing. They're moving on. They move on. Okay, this is 1 minute and 3 seconds. There'll be screenshot, okay?
There's tension there. What do you think's going on?
Well, I felt completely different, actually. I mean, after all the trashing of Harry, and there always is this week about, trying to sort of blame him, Actually, when I saw him and Meghan in Nigeria, I had a nostalgia. I felt this is what it could have been. These two who are enormously appealing to the public and who are very good at it. We're out there in Nigeria sort of looking really attractive and being, you know, appealing people. And what a pity it is, they've gone. There is a kind of Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy at this time when they're in such sort of beleaguered circumstance.
Well, the thing with the left behinders, they thought, because they use Harry as a scapegoat, they thought all the cheers and adoration they were getting was because of their own stupidity. Meanwhile, it was Harry who was doing the work, putting it out there for people to benefit and all of that. So they thought they were gonna get the same cheers, but people are not stupid. Okay? You see, when William goes to engagement, very rarely you see a good amount of people out there. The moment Harry went to the UK for the 10-year anniversary of the Invictus, you see a good amount of people out there waiting for him. And they let him know that they appreciate him and they love Meghan. And then what the tabloid turned that into and said all of them were tourists. Okay. So if you said they were tourists, you could say, okay, so how come tourists then come for William? Because that's what the institution is supposed to do. Bring tourism into the UK, to stimulate the economy. So that few moment Harry went over there, all these people you claim they were tourists, okay. So he did the job for the institution, bringing tourists into the UK to spend money and for lodge and wherever they're gonna stay. So Harry did his thing, no matter which way you look at it. But let's continue.
Do you think the rift is permanent?
It might be, because things tend to get more and more ossified, like they did with the Windsors. But I think we needed Harry and Meghan, and I think unfortunately what's come to pass with the cancer diagnosis and things shows just how depleted the family is and how much it needs all its stalwarts. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I hope it does, mend.
Harry and Meghan done. And then to give an excuse for Charles, they bring the cancer thing. Whatever. All right, too late. Did they really think they can push his wife out and he'll let it happen? These people never knew him enough to know his honor. He is not his father. That is true. I agree with this. He stayed quiet. He did what he needed to do. And then once the shift came from him and passing on to his wife, that's where it was, no, he's not going to sit back. Okay, and then the brother helped push him out too. Okay, so we have to thank William too. I'm sorry, we have to thank William for bringing Simon Case to write the steps that Harry needs to take to get the hell out of there. So we need to thank William too. Meanwhile, there's Harry who wants to make sure, because once he leaves, he's not coming back. Ask the court to do a review, and then the court agreed. And I could understand why the judge agreed with that, pushing Harry out. Because when you look at it in the perspective of who's the key holder for the institution, which is Charles currently, and William, who's next after Charles. So they have to go along with them because they are the heir and the spare. Okay, right now, Charles is the heir. And then William now become the spare to Charles. Okay, but I understand why the judge agreed with that. All right, too late. William, big ego won't survive it. Leave them alone. You then appreciate them enough, and please stick with your left behind royals. All right, so these are the things that happened last week. Well, this is first Meghan meeting them. All right, I have to thank Nigeria. They did a wonderful job. Okay, that's when Harry was in the UK to mass. That's a very nice picture of him. Very, very nice. All right, so there's that. Let me pause this. Their loss, King Charles is a racist, classless, unrepentant, petty man who lowered the institution of state he represents. But the rest of the world will continue to treat Harry and Meghan well. Okay, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting the red carpet treatment in Lagos. They'll visit a school supported by their Archwell Foundation, and there'll also be a charity polo match. Okay, so this, I will cover them on another video. I have not yet record this, my thought like I'm doing right now, but I've shared video on our part of pure service. Go and watch it now, because in a couple weeks, I'll say maybe somewhere in June, I'm gonna remove them, re-edit them, and put them back up again, because YouTube have issues with them, so I have to find where the issues are. But for now, I'm just leaving them. I don't care. All right, so let's read this and then move on. Their first mistake was coming after Prince Harry's wife. Their second mistake was thinking Harry was like his father. Their third mistake was thinking the Sussexes won't succeed without the left behind pals. Their fourth mistake was failing to realize they had powerful friends and world allies. Okay, let me go into that. All of their mistakes were what the Bible said, quote, "No weapon formed against you shall not prosper, and every tongue which rises in judgment you shall condemn." Their mistakes just keep piling up, beginning with the 4 you listed. Yeah, that's true. And then the thing is that they keep banging their heads. They keep banging their heads, doing the same thing, and then expect the different result. And the fifth is, what is that? Always bet on black. Okay. There's that. This I will cover on another video. You really lost the golden goose. Only hardworking and likable royal couple. Look at him. He is ours now. He is global prince and princess. Okay, the same Tina Brown who participated in the abusing them out of the family, trying to do revisionist history after authoring and cashing in on the most obnoxious book about the couple. Oh, she wrote a book? I mean, all of them been writing books about them. Too late, the family couldn't just be a family to them because of petty overshadowing jealousy and working with the media to demonize and assassinate their characters and increase their security risk against. There's more. Oh my God. They should have just been a nice and supporting family. They showed they are not, but the shock of their history that they left and then have to come back for more abuse and institutional gaslighting. The monarchy blew it. Rely on your superstar, Kate and William, if Kate is still there. We thank God that they walk away with their pride intact. That's right. Maturity is learned to walk away from people and situations that threaten your peace of mind, self-respect, or self-worth. And the thing as well, if they dare to come back, they're going to humiliate them and tell them to go away. Okay? Then they're going to hold that as their pride. You see, we kicked them out. We did this. Okay? They just walk away and that's it. And again, we have to thank William for that. Brilliantly said, I saw no messages of support when Archie was likened to an ape. Nothing when Meghan was dreamed about being unclothed. And that's the, what is it? Jeremy Clarkson wrote. Okay. Increment thrown at her in the street, but they came out to support Kate after her digs on front page though. Do you think Takitina would be saying this if the royal racists weren't on the medical leaves? Whatever. I really don't think there's anything. Okay, I think there's another one. I think it's the same thing. Oh no, James Obrien. Alright, so let's see here. Boom, there you have it. I couldn't have said it better. I don't think Prince Harry and Meghan gives a toss what those green eye monsters have to say about them anymore. They're getting on with life. Okay, it's 1 minute and 4 seconds. When was that? May 10th. So not too long ago.
It's just envy, isn't it? The whole point of the attacks upon Prince Harry and his wife, whether they're coming from within the palace, on the record, off the record, nowhere near the record, or whether it's coming from Fleet Street, is because they're simply better at everything. They're better at PR. They're more media savvy, they're more articulate, they're more empathetic. Crucially, they're more accomplished. Look at their careers, compare their careers. They're more accomplished and they're more attractive. So here is the real sin of Harry Windsor, and this only occurred to me last night. But the real reason for the hatred, the viciousness, and this astonishing level of abuse is because they make a complete mockery of royalty itself. The idea that he gets the top job and he sits in the sidecar for the rest of his life is absolutely absurd. But we can never ever admit that because it shakes the very foundations of the royal family.
Alright, so there's no comment. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright. So there's another one here. This is another one who did the YouTuber talk about the Oprah interview when the Oprah interview wasn't even aired yet.
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
Ingrid Seward, I'm editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
You do, definitely.
All right, that's from LBC. It was a very unkind message to a 75-year-old man with cancer. Why not just stay quiet? Ingrid Seward, editor of Her Majesty magazine.
Ingrid Seward, I'm editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
He criticizes Prince Harry's decision to announce that King Charles was too busy to see his son this week. I read that somewhere, but was it him who said that? I don't remember, but everything that these people said, Harry and Meghan, they turn it into something else. And then I raised this question, this topic. I believe I did a video yesterday that sort of summarized what happened over the weekend with the Invictus in the UK 10th anniversary and what happened in Nigeria, the invitation. There was a conference that was going on, Meghan did for women. And in that conversation, there was one thing that was said, and I was like, oh my God, I hope people in Nigeria, when they hear rumors about a different I think they have different tribes in Nigeria. Once they start hearing rumors between tribes, the best thing, my humble opinion, I do not know how any of this work. Okay, I am the US. I never been to Africa, never been to Nigeria, but due to what I've heard, and then knowing the pattern and behavior, the blueprint of the institution in the UK, I could see how they could stir the pot with this only statement. Many of you might say, why will this matter? This is something very innocent. But when you look at Harry during the Sandringham summit, okay, remember, they had already written his way out. Okay, they make him waste his time to talk as if there was something going on. Meanwhile, their decision have already been made. So within that discussion, one thing that Harry said, and they took it and they weaponized it, and they literally almost did a Diana on Harry. Harry said his most concern was security.
Everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death, like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover.
You will say, oh, okay, let's give him security. But they took that message from the Sandringham and punished him with it. And I think it's because Harry said this is what he was concerned of. Because he concerned about it, they took it away from him. So this is that same aspect that I'm saying here. Okay, you might think it's very innocent, it's not a big deal. But something that was said during that conversation with the women conference that Meghan had in Nigeria, they said something between tribes, this and that. I don't remember the full thing. I need to review those videos. And I was like, they will take that and weaponize it. How? I have no idea. I do not have evil mind like them. But one thing I said for Nigerians, depending on the tribes, because you will find a bad apple within you to carry out their work. Okay, once you start hearing rumors about something between tribes, the first thing you need to do is tackle it in the butt. Do not take it as to start confronting in a angry manner, but go with peace and solve the issue. Talk to the counterpart and talk about it and clear things really right away. Perfect example that I said in that yesterday video, similar to how Jews in the US, I don't know how Jews in the UK and around the world work, but when something negative is being said about Jews in the US, the Jews stand up right away and stop it. before it continues. Okay, so this is we could learn so much from others. We may not like the way they do things, other things, let's say what's going on in the Middle East, but there are things that they do we could learn from. So the minute anything negative is being cross path between tribes, is nip it in the butt, put a stop to it. If you have to confront the opposite of the tribes, go in peace and discuss it before it spread even more. Okay, because I could see that little thing that was said in that conversation, the UK will use it, find a bad apple, and create chaos. Okay, what just happened in Nigeria, they didn't like it. They didn't like it. This is how evil-minded these people are. If, for instance, Harry and Meghan were being abused, being, you name it, anything negative, oh, that would be perfect for them. They would love it. So, what just happened in Nigeria, because it was very successful, you had all of them did so many other tours, it was a failure. But there's Harry and Meghan who went over there and did that thing, very successful. So they don't like that. So just be careful, okay? Once you start hearing rumors, just remember, I told you so. All right? Because I could see the stupidity carrying out over there. All right. Ingrid Seward, editor, okay, I read that, but let's listen.
He'd have to want to be able to. And also, if you haven't seen your son, and there is obviously a fractious relationship there. I'm not saying he doesn't love him, doesn't want to, to make it up with him, but it's fractious.
Yeah.
Can you really face it? Is it worth? You're not going to be able to say anything in 10 or 15 minutes. And Charles won't play to the gallery, and I think he probably was rather upset by the announcement that Harry's people made, is that he couldn't see his father because his father was too busy. I think that's a very unkind thing to say.
I mean, what's so bad about that? This is what interview is. If that was actually said, I think I read it somewhere, but if that was actually said, they ask him a question. What was he supposed to say? This is his response to the thing. Did he see Charles? No. So what was Harry supposed to say? If this is what, he said. My goodness. No matter what Harry and Meghan do, it will never be to their liking, because they want them to stay mute.
Say. He didn't have to say anything.
So why did
Maybe he was hurt.
So why did they ask him a question? He had to answer it. Okay, she said maybe he was hurt. I mean, I remember when I read that, I said, so I could understand, because I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think Harry understood his father's position as the king. He has other priorities. He's the king. Maybe there's other things he's doing. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But, oh my God, Harry will never say anything to these people's liking. But anyway.
I'm sure. I just think it was the wrong kind of message to put out. I think it was an unkind message to a 75-year-old man who has got cancer to say, my father is too busy to see me. Why not just keep quiet?
Well, he's too busy. Maybe he had to go to the hospital, even though not. He has cancer. Maybe he was too busy to take care of his health. Who knows? I don't know. These people are full of it. He can do right for doing wrong, bore off. Okay, indeed, it may have been better, in hindsight, to keep this a private affair. I mean, they asked him a question. He didn't go into in full detail. His father is too busy to see him. Okay, look at this. When Harry flew, after Charles came out and said he had cancer, he flew to see his father the next day, literally the next day. Charles only stayed for, from what I've heard, 45 minutes and then took his helicopter and left. Don't you think this would have been much longer? Go out and catch up and do father and son kind of thing? Charles doesn't care. All right. I'll go into that for a few. Seward needs to try again. King Charles, the petty, deserves more than a polite message. Royalists are like cult members. You need to stop making excuses for the royals. There's this here from people. King Charles has private meeting with David Beckham. There's another one. King Charles has private meeting with David Beckham after being unable to meet with son Prince Harry, report. There's that as well. Let's go into that and then I'll go back. Okay, can't help but think of the quote I saw somewhere about how the royal family lords a knighthood over David Beckham to get him to do what they want when they want. David doesn't seem to see it, but he's being used and abused. So yeah, when I saw this someplace else, I said something about the same aspect. Yeah, he's a royalist. They're dingling that on him and then they're using him. Oh, and I think I said, David Beckham loves his sons, but the royal family is using him. But, oh well. Yet they were all too happy to run with the Charles, too busy for Harry trope. Okay, during the interview with Vanessa Fields today, Seward said she didn't like that Meghan only had one smile. What? Only had one smile. These so-called royal experts are a peculiar bunch. Oh my God. Charles making himself intentionally look petty. It will backfire like everything else. Okay, not a good look for Charles. Beckham needs to move on. Okay, learn to say no. Because, yeah, they're using him. And I think the photo that I saw him meeting with Charles when I made the comment that he loved his son, I think his older son was with him. Okay, oh, shut up. Harry has a voice now. The institution can't silence him. You don't like that because you can't make up stories for the public to blame Harry and Meghan for things that are not their fault. Last time, okay, let's go into that. Last time you were all enjoying reporting that Charles only had 45 minutes with Harry and wasn't keen to meeting him. There's that as well. I was just saying that. After he said he had cancer and Harry flew to the UK and he only met him 45 minutes. I love that Harry now has the power to ensure royal reporters lying on him and telling stupid lies is minimized. Boom. They abused both Harry and Meghan's no one said nothing. Jeremy Clarkson want to drag Meghan on the street and throw increment on her. No one said nothing. Even the Queen had lunch with them. That's messed up. Okay, not so fun when the rabbits got the gun. Okay, maybe the British media royalists and the British royal family will stop baiting Harry by talking crap. That way, Harry won't have to answer them. They are definitely clutching their pearls since Harry comes answer them so elegantly. Then they say also that Camilla wasn't going to allow Harry to see Charles, or have I got that wrong? I think I think Harry said if he's gonna meet Charles, he doesn't want Camilla to be there. And I think that was one of the things that was floating around. Who knows the truth behind it? So that's this here. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Okay, who did this? Who keeps setting Willy up like this? If you need an ally in armed conflict, who would you choose? Hint, not the one playing soldier on the right. At the end of the day, Willy must use agency for himself. He must be able to say, that won't do it for me, to whoever is setting him up. I blame Charles and the late Queen for treating him like an egg that he is, instead of raising a future leader. Yeah. When you look at, I don't pay too much attention to that, to them. The royal, actually, I was going to say only the Spanish one, but looking at what happened, was it, Netherlands, I keep on confused. Netherlands or the Dutch? Let me look it up. I was thinking Netherlands, but that's not it. Okay, not her. I was gonna make reference to, but they're probably training her as well, but not her. So there's two women, okay, who's waiting for the throne. Her and the one in Spain. But I wasn't gonna make reference to her. Is the other one? What was the other one? That's what I was thinking. Denmark. All right, her son, her older son. Okay, let's see here. Denmark heir. Okay, Christian. All right, him. I think they're already preparing him because they give him a taste of power already. Not too long ago, the father had to go somewhere. I don't remember. Is it Poland or something like that? For a couple of days. He took charge to give him a taste of what to come. So they're training him. I don't know how good they're training him, but the one in Spain, I've seen a couple videos, her making speech, doing things. So they're really training them to be in the position. I don't know what Netherlands is doing, but Denmark have already given them Christian a taste of the position that he said. But right now, William the father is sick. He's not stepping up. For instance, I think a couple weeks ago, I was reading where Charles removed some of the charities under the umbrella of the royal family. Meanwhile, William is not showing up at certain events, and he's not taking in more charities. Let's say the ones that the father removed, he could have picked them up. But if Harry was there, in terms of competition, numbers, they don't care about the charity. They look at the numbers. Oh, I have more of this, more of that. But Harry only focused on quality, things that he's passionate about, to associate his name next to it.
So you're affiliated, as many in your family are, with many, many charities. You're patrons of certain organizations. I read that you have about 15 charities that you're affiliated with. Your brother and sister-in-law have about 35, but that's less than some other members of your family, right? You all are doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So how do you focus?
So,
And tell us, that by contrast, how many charities might other royals be affiliated with in different generations?
Hundreds. My grandmother had to rewrite the rule books to a certain extent. My father, my mother have also done it their way. And now we're the younger generation coming through, trying to do it our way, because the world has changed so much. We believe that by streamlining and by bringing people together in order to effect real positive change is the only way forward. And it worked for previous generations, and we will always say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year. I don't think that's necessarily beneficial to anybody.
But these people were, when Harry's there, they're about the numbers. But Harry's not there, they don't give a shit. All right? So William, they don't train him at all for the position. As a matter of fact, they're scaring him. Right? They literally hate him. There's the laugh here. Come on. Why these things keep on? There's the laugh here. He looks pitiful. And of course, Harry looks hot. He certainly wears it well. Okay? Willy looks like some generic off-brand soldier. Right? His handlers hate him for sure. Okay? I know, right? Why he keeps going along with it. It's the same thing when he went to Jamaica, standing on that truck, showing the past colonialism. I mean, the UK is on brand, okay? Let's not be all behind the scene here. They're letting us know exactly the direction they want to go, okay? This is the direction of the racist colonial path that they want to go. But we want them to change, but they're not willing to change.
As we're in this moment of transition, I think it's not unnatural that people are having conversations about the monarchy and the place of the monarchy in various countries, Canada included. And some of the recent polling is suggesting that there is a drop in the percentage of people who would like to see the monarchy continue. How do you deal with that as a family?
Well, we don't, in many respects, need to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Not least of all because it is the monarch that is the key to this, and the constitution that underpins the monarchy. We as a family see ourselves there as to support that role. What we do, we hope, contributes to the monarchy and the way in which it can convey continuity of not just interest but of service, of understanding, the way that people and communities want to live their lives. And I think so often we get the chance to see communities and the people who do things really well and are very generous with their time in a way that, if you look at the media, you tend not to get that impression.
Are there conversations about relevance?
There will be everywhere. It's not a conversation that I would necessarily have. I think it's perfectly true that it is a moment when you need to have that discussion. But I would just underline that the monarchy provides, with the constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. You know, he is committed of his own level of service. That will remain true.
So the Commonwealth need to take care of itself, remove itself from the Commonwealth thing and move along. Okay, William Parker Bowles will soon become a cartoon character who did this to him. People are laughing. All right, let me go to my last one. All right, my goodness. This is my last one. Right, so there's this here. Pretty much they're starting to let you know she's not coming back. This is the narrative that they were leading us into believing. First, they did, what were the three things? The picture, all right, that she took for Mother's Day. People start questioning it, and then later on, it come out the picture was fake. And then the walkabout, claiming that there's Kate with William and all of that. Okay, people need to remember all of this as we see the narrative started to change. Because they can't keep up with the lies, because each lie that they put out, people uncover it. The walkabout that he did with supposedly Kate, not the Kate he married, but the woman he was working with could be another Kate. We do not know. But the thing that arises with this is that someone like him and Kate walking on the street, you only have one person with the camera to record it. And guess what? Next time when there's something like that happen, they're going to improve on it. They already got the criticism. They're going to improve on it. Plant different people, different areas to cover their BS. Okay? Just remember that. So we uncovered later on TMZ said it wasn't them. All right? The other thing, what was the third thing? Oh, the TV, the AI video of Kate saying she has cancer. All right? So 3 things in a row. They cannot keep their narrative going. They already had a narrative to go, but they just can't tell us all at once to put it in our face. Then people was gonna ask why. So each of their nonsense, the foundation of their nonsense started out. They put a stop to it. When I said they, the people start questioning it. So they scratch it off and go to the next one. They scratch it off, go to the next one. They scratch it off. So now we have this. In Touch, is it in the US? But it's the same group, okay? It doesn't matter. Those tabloid people saying their lies, the same group, okay, around the world to continue the lies. All right, it's over. New affair rumors and cool cover up. All right, so who knows what their lies is gonna say here. Okay, Kate takes off her ring. William fight for his marriage. Fight for his marriage? What marriage? He's done with. This is a guy who keep on saying, I mean, okay. We could look at some videos. I don't think I have them. When she's trying to touch him and he's like, don't touch me. He goes to a Middle East wedding and then tell the woman, chop, chop, you know, let's hurry up or something like that. Disrespect her every chance. All right. This might work for people who never really pay attention to them. Okay. But we know. We know the truth. There's no fight for marriage here. The thing has been over for I don't know how long. If she's still alive. Alright. So that's that. There's my comment here. Oh shit, 29 people like it. I'm surprised. So where is she? I really hope she's alive for the sake of her children. So is this the reason Rose out somewhere with someone the other day? So Steve Colbert was spot on. Alright, there was I think while Harry and Meghan were doing their thing in Nigeria, there were some pictures with Rose out with, I don't know, some people. Let's see. There's one comment here. Okay. Me too. Me too. All right. They're still lying. We remember her Chuck and Diana's divorce was announced, and it wasn't in a tabloid rag after she had been missing 5 months. I still need proof of life on Kate. Okay, so there's that. A quick divorce takes 6 months in the UK. My opinion is if Kate ever shows up, it won't be until early July onward. She will be a militant again. Just my opinion, but this story is the biggest royal cover-up we have ever had. Doubtful we will ever know the truth. That is true. He is divorcing her when she has cancer. There's that. Wonder which exes Ben's talking about. And the thing is that remember the Spanish media were saying something bad happened to Kate, so we just need to see her. This is the thing here. They divorced. She's out of the picture. They don't need to mention her again. All right, so that's all I have. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And, you know, that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
You do, definitely.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.